This morning, representing the World Food Day National Committee of Trinidad and Tobago, I have the chairperson, Teresa Rosemond, joining me in studio. Good morning, Teresa.
Hi, good morning.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm good.
Thank you so much for joining us. Give us a brief overview as to what the World Food Day National Committee of Trinidad and Tobago does. Okay. What's the purpose?
Okay, so the World Food Day National Committee, we consist of 8 members. It's a cabinet-appointed committee.
Mm-hmm.
So the purpose of the World Food Day Committee is to create awareness. If I should say tack back, if we talk about World Food Day, what is World Food Day? So World Food Day is an annual event.
Mm-hmm.
It culminates on the 16th of October, but that does not mean it's a one-day activity. It happens for the year.
Right.
And during that period, the committee would have used or continue to use initiative in creating that awareness about hunger and how we deal with climate change. We go out to the schools and we teach children and the general public about how we could conserve.
Okay, so the main goal is education.
The main goal is education and to create that community awareness.
All right, so tell me about some of the activities that you guys have done so far.
Okay, so some of the activities achieved, and I'm proud to say, since October of last year to present, we would have had from our food heroes, because we really do appreciate the persons who go beyond and create value-added products for us. We would have had a plant torch, and we are going to have 2 activities in line of that plant torch.
Okay, so you had to break that down for us. What is a plant torch exactly?
So the plant torch is symbolic of the Olympic torch.
Right.
So in 1976, we had a private-public partnership with Marcy Stores. And they had this Run for Food. I don't remember if you remember Run for Food. It was a 5K event.
1976, you're asking
Sorry.
For you and Easy?
No.
But how you go? I don't understand. No, I don't remember.
Okay, so here's my mind going back to when I was born. Okay. So in 2016.
Okay, there we go.
So in 2016. We had this partnership with Marcy Stores. 2016.
Right. Now we're on the same page. Right, go ahead.
Okay, so in 2016, we had this partnership with Marcy Stores. And we had what we call a Run for Food. It was a 5K activity.
Right.
And I don't know if you remember that. It was a big activity. It was a real big thing. And what we would have done, the committee, when they met, and kudos to the persons who would have initiated this activity, is that we would have gone out to the schools. So there are 4-H clubs in our school system,
right,
where we're trying to encourage agriculture, plant or grow what you eat. Okay, so we'd have gone out, and I should say there's a partnership also with the Ministry of Agriculture,
nice,
Horticulture Division. So they will suggest to us plants that we can use to plant in their garden, which is at the Botanic Garden.
Oh, so you've also been planting at the Botanical Garden?
We have been planting for the past 7 years at the Botanic Garden. So what happened, they will suggest us a plant. We will get the plants free from another division, Agricultural Services, and we will carry one plant to different school, which is the torch. So like the torch when they have the Olympic Games, somebody have the torch and they run. So the plant torch, which is a plant PLANT, is carried from school to school.
Okay.
And the children are taught how to nurture this plant. And then they have appreciation of the value of taking care of a plant.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the idea is that you pass it from
school to school.
From the Botanic Gardens to a school?
From schools to school, and then on the 16th, or on the date to be decided,
right,
it is planted at the Botanical Garden.
Okay.
So
and the students themselves get to plant it?
The students come and plant. They will have the ministers, the students, and they get the kudos that comes with it.
Nice one. And so that plant torch, the next plant torch event is happening on...
So we had our plant torch. The planting of the plant was done in October of last year,
In how many schools?
We have 39 schools who have participated. Tobago is also involved in that. So it's basically 33 schools from Trinidad and 6 from Tobago.
And they all planted in October?
One plant. The plant that has been moving around as the torch is the plant that is planted at the Botanical Garden. So you have to visualize somebody running.
I try to. So is it that, so all 36 schools, 39 schools, you said, right?
Okay, I just mixed up. So we have the schools taking part in the activity.
Right.
But for this year, which is October 16 to October 16, okay, we have had a few schools, I think about 22 schools would have taken part in the activity,
Right.
where the plant is moved from school to school, but it's just one plant.
It's one plant that
One
moving
plant.
from schools. And how long each school keep any plant?
2 weeks.
Ah, okay,
weeks
all right.
max.
So now I'm on the page with you. All right.
good.
So each school keep any plant for,
For
2 weeks.
2 weeks where they
and then
nurture
they
the plants
pass it on to the,
the
another
other
school.
school.
And they have to keep it alive.
And they have to keep it alive.
Not
And they do
dehydrated.
keep the school, they do keep the plants alive.
That's lovely. And then, so, all right. So after each 2 week process, you said when is the Botanical Gardens planting? On the 16th of
So on the
October
16th
again?
of October, we
Okay.
plant.
So I understand you have an event coming up on the 17th though.
Okay, so we have an event from the 17th to the 19th.
Of
so
January.
the 17th,
Right.
yeah, this week,
Right.
which is tomorrow, is the 17th. So we are having a certificate, an award certificate distribution.
Okay.
And that will be held at the Orientation Center at the Botanic Garden.
Okay.
So if persons don't know, the Orientation Center is that building just after you pass the zoo, or on the left-hand side.
As soon as you enter the gardens?
No, after you pass, like the zoo, there's a main entrance.
Right.
So the Orientation Center is that building,
Okay.
where the activity will be held in that building.
All right. And this
tomorrow.
certification ceremony is for who exactly?
Okay, that would be for the students, basically, who were very instrumental in taking part in the jingle competition, in the artwork.
Okay.
So what we have the students do, just to ensure that they would have appreciated what they did during that period,
Yeah.
the students had to be very creative. So they will draw. It had to be 2 or 3 dimensional artwork, and they are now asked to display their artwork.
And we actually have some of the images from the art exhibit that we can. Oh, I thought we had some. Sorry, but
Well, it's a good thing because I really want persons to come out.
okay, all right, that's
Okay,
fair. That's
so
probably why
on
we
the-
don't have it.
Right. So on the 18th and the 19th, we have going to have a public viewing. So the public is encouraged to come and see what the children would have done.
Okay,
So that is just our
and they can
flyer.
come between 11 a.m. and 3
between
p.m.
11 and 3.
Okay,
So
and is
persons
it
who are exercising around the savannah, you could just pop in.
just pass through and check out what
and see what
they've been
the
doing?
children have been doing. They have been very creative.
What is the theme for World Food Day this year?
Is what is life, what is food, leave no one behind. Okay? And the children in their artwork, they will depict just that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What is the impact that you hope these activities have on the population in general?
Well, we hope that persons will be aware of climate change, the impact of it. We are hoping that the public will be more appreciative of the food that we have available to eat, because there is a lot of hunger outside, there's a lot of malnutrition. So I think sometimes we take it for granted that because we have something to eat, that the whole world is good. But then if we have to look, even in Trinidad, there are some level of poverty. So we want to encourage persons that they have to give, that they have to plant. So that's why we encourage, we have a lot of educational programs to teach persons how to.
But it's not just about getting food. It's the type of food that you get.
The food have to be nutritious.
Exactly.
So we try to avoid the processed type food. So that we try to encourage persons to plant. You have to, as you say, work smart, not what? Not hard.
Not hard.
Right. So it have new technologies that persons can use. So if your space is limited, we can show you how to utilize the space that you have using technology. You could either use vertical planting, you could plant in containers. It have person will plant fruit trees in containers and harvest.
Now, is there collaboration happening between, I mean, you mentioned the Ministry of Agriculture is on board with you guys, you mentioned the Horticulture Society and those sort of people. But what about like the Ministry of Youth Development and National Service?
So-
because I know they have their aquaculture, they have their whole farming thing
The
going
shade
on.
house, everything.
Yeah, the shade house
Okay,
and all
so
that
there
stuff.
is a lot of collaboration. The persons who are part of the World Food Day Committee come from trade, from MyDNS. So we have a representative from each of those. We have NAMDEFCO,
Okay.
who has been very instrumental in providing the infrastructure for many of the activities that we have had. We have FAO, because this would have started when FAO would have established the World Food Day
Right.
in 1979, around here.
Okay.
So they are very instrumental, and we have persons from the Ministry of Agriculture.
Okay, so it's a nice collaborative effort
It's a
to make sure.
very good collaborative effort. And then we have the representatives from the schools, because the Ministry of Education is very instrumental in making this a possibility.
Of course, because they are key in,
They are
in
key
the whole
because
thing.
we are using their children.
Of course, of course.
And then we have the other divisions that are also, that is within ministry also. So we have the Region North and Region South that do a lot of the training together with the ETIS, which is Extension Training Information Service Division.
You mentioned earlier that your people get more aware of climate change. What are some of the things that we can do in order to assist that process to be a little bit better? Not just the education, but what are we teaching children about climate change? How do we stop it? How do we work against it? I don't know, what is the solution?
Okay, the best solution is how do we become climate smart, the type of agriculture that they can do, the kind of things that they could do even in their home by conserving water will be a very crucial thing. I know recently there was a program that dealt with fires, how we prevent these things. We want to make sure that the world that we live in is in a position that even our generation can benefit in the long run. Because when we go, what do we have to show? So we cannot be destroying what we have, and we have to appreciate what we have. Okay, so we teach children how to do good agricultural practices, how to utilize the food that they have to eat, how to eat healthy. Okay?
And what does healthy eating mean in general? I also understand that you have another event coming up on the 31st.
Right. On the 31st, we have what we call Empowering Communities. This will be the second of its kind. The first the first event was held in Rincon. That's going to Place Cuevas side here. So we met a group of farmers, and that is through the Extension Training Division, when they go out and they do their training program. So there was a need assessment, and the farmers would have, that's the small farmers. We had a group called the Texas Community Farmers. So they would have put out certain things to the extension, and we listened to what they had to say. So we had a big event that was held in November, I think somewhere around here, where we got other stakeholders to bring, to showcase what they have. So they have like the track mark, the markers, and those persons. And we basically showed the farmers how to utilize the resources that they had available to them.
Okay.
And I think the farmers in that area were trying to push like their waterfall, which would be a big seller.
Of course.
So the second activity is going to be on the 31st of this month. This will be at the community center in Barataria.
Oh, Barataria.
So we had two. I said this is the second. The second is the community center. And the first was in Rincon.
And the aim is similar in terms of empowering farmers in the community?
Is to encourage farmers and small farmers. Okay, on World Food Day activities and how to manage.
So is it that farmers have to be specifically invited, or all farmers could just come down?
Everybody is invited.
Okay.
We really want the public to come and see what is available and what they themselves can do in their space.
All right, so that's happening on the 31st of January.
That is happening on the 31st of January. So that one starts at 10 in the morning.
10 a.m.?
So 10
and that's
a.m.
at Barataria Community Center.
At Barataria Community Center.
Fantastic.
And I want to give kudos to the champion, Mrs. Rogers. I hope she's watching. I didn't tell her we were on this morning. But I really want to give kudos to persons who really give selflessly in making sure that we are in a good place when it comes to agriculture, when it comes to empowering their peers or even the persons around them.
And I want to thank you for continuing to do the work with the entire committee to make sure that we can showcase these things and we can educate the children about it as well.
Definitely, that is what we want to do.
Yeah, and so I want to thank you for joining us this morning as well, and for sharing with us all this information. And please continue to do the great work that you're doing.
Okay, so I really want persons to come out on the days that we have mentioned, which is from tomorrow, which is the opening ceremony, but the public will be 18th and 19th from 11 to 4. You are free to come and see the creativity that the children has. And on the 31st from 10, and that goes until 4 o'clock, we are going to have that empowering of the community.
Fantastic. Teresa Roseman, ladies and gentlemen, chairperson of the World Food Day National Committee of Trinidad and Tobago. We take a quick break and we come back with more in our morning show. Stick around. Thank you.